What's going on, everybody? This is Gabriel, the ProActivator, and today I have Mr. Mark Martin with us. He's a gentleman that I've met a while back, and we've been meaning to do a podcast. He's a young man that I've heard is a ProActivator in the making, but we'll see. Let's see what's going on. Mark, why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
Man, that's an awesome intro. I love it. Thank you for having me on the podcast. A little bit about me. I'm excited to be here, first of all.
Okay.
So it's like one of my first podcasts being on somebody's, like in person. So I'm excited. Yeah, a little bit about me. I'm in love with Jesus.
Awesome.
Put that out there out first. Yeah, God saved my life, transformed it. And then, yeah, I'm a bit of an entrepreneur as well. So I started a couple different companies. They failed,
All right.
a couple of them. And then, yeah, I blew up my Instagram account following a framework that Dan Martell actually told me about.
Oh, nice.
And then it blew up, and I was like, okay, let me try this with someone else. And then it worked.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, let me see if I can coach on this.
Okay.
And so that's what I've been doing. Yeah, I traveled all around the world. Like,
Sweet.
not all around the world, but a lot of places. I've been to Africa twice, Ecuador, Brazil, preaching the gospel mission field.
Wow.
Seen thousands come to Jesus, healings. Like, it's amazing.
Wow, dude.
I
Wow.
have 9 siblings, huge family. You know my parents from the petting zoos and
Nice.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah. Exciting, brother. Definitely. So let me tell you about the ProActivator. So the ProActivator is a term that I came up with because years ago I had a book club, and we went through a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Dr. Stephen Covey. And the very first habit is be proactive. And after reading that book on my own, doing, I would say, listening to it, reading it multiple times, and then I said to myself, let me do a book report on this, because there was so much in there. There's so much that one read is not enough. Like, you have to keep coming. So yeah. And then after doing a book report on that book, I used to do this early in the morning. But bro, I felt alone. I'm like, man, this is so much. I can't just keep this to myself.
You needed
so
to share
much
it.
here. Yeah. So I went to the public library close to my house, and I asked if, can I join a book club? But after talking to the lady for a while, she said, well, you can start your own, because they didn't have anything like I was looking for.
Didn't have anything.
Okay, I'll start my own. Brother, I started my own book club. One person showed up, and then more people started showing up, and then we went through the 7 habits of highly effective people. But then what I started seeing is that lives were being transformed, because they were really adopting the ideas.
Wow.
Right? Which, by the way, all biblical principle.
Nice.
It's principle based. So eventually I started seeing that those people were being very proactive in their marriage, in their faith, in their work. And then, but then I had a hard time coming up with something that would, what do you call? That would, okay, how do I call those people? I know they're I can only say, they're very proactive people.
Yeah, you had no name to come up with.
Yeah. So one day, I was watching, I wanted to define them, right? So one day, I was watching The Terminator.
Okay.
Then as I see the Terminator just relentless, bro, he had a mission. You saw it in his eyes. He didn't care.
Focused.
He was focused. Explosions, bullets, car crash, nothing will stop this guy. And I'm like, man, you see, that's the same
Passion.
That's the same the eagerness that these people have to change their lives, right? And they have that. And they're proactive. Bro, the ProActivator.
Come on.
The ProActivator.
Come on. That's awesome.
So that's where it came from, It's a merge from the Terminator using the determination that he
Mhm.
had to accomplish his mission, and nothing will stop them. He didn't care about feelings. It's not about your feelings. Oh, I don't feel like
I
it.
don't
It's
feel
not
like
about
it.
your mood. It's about taking action,
Mm.
right? And doing and combining that with being proactive,
Mhm.
right? Thinking ahead, not staying behind, not being a procrastinator,
Yeah.
but becoming a proactivator.
I love it.
That's what it's all about.
I love it.
Thank you, bro. And so now I came up with a definition.
Mhm.
See, a proactivator is a person who terminates bad habits
Mm.
and is intentional about implementing habits that edify their lives and those around them.
Mm.
Our mission is to build state-of-the-art leaders.
Come on.
That's what we do here, bro.
And I
That's
love
what
it.
the proactivator is all about. Now, we have 6 pillars, which we're going to go through them today. The 6 pillars of the proactivators are faith, family, finances, fitness,
Mhm.
focus, and fulfillment.
Okay. Excited.
And that's what we're going to be talking about today. And with that said, I love how you said that Jesus saved your life.
Yeah.
So with that said, let's talk about the first pillar. The first pillar is about faith. Now, from a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being Jesus who, to 10 being Gabriel, I can't think of anything else that I can do in my own life to serve or love Jesus. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
I'm all his. So where do you fall on that and those parameters?
I mean, I would say 10 because, I mean,
My man.
that's
That's
it.
awesome,
There's nothing
bro.
else in this world.
I love that.
Obviously, there's room to grow. I'm
Mhm.
always willing to grow
Right.
with Jesus. But I'm always thinking about Jesus like I wouldn't be alive without him. So I could go on to the testimony a little bit. Yeah, my parents were Christian. They said they were Christian, but like they weren't really living it out at home.
Okay.
They started a family business with the animals, petting zoo, stuff like that. And they never talked about God at the house. And so the business kicked off, but we stopped going to church because we were so busy. I have 9 siblings. We never talked about God, only when we were making fun of one another, like, oh, you didn't pray for your food, so you're going to hell. Like, that's it. But I remember that one Christmas, one time, I remember looking at this guy's eyes. It was in a play. And I don't know if it was an angel. I don't know if it was Jesus himself or just somebody that had such compassion for Jesus. But inside this play, I remember looking up, and it looked like an angel. And I remember him looking in my eyes as a 6-year-old, 7-year-old kid. And he didn't say nothing, but I saw such compassion and felt so loved. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then as it goes on, I fell into addiction, pornography, and all these different things. And I was like, okay, I forgot who God was. I knew of him, but I didn't know him. And so I fell into addiction, fell into depression, anxiety, because I knew it was wrong. Like, you growing up, you're like, oh, the kids aren't listening in Sunday school. But really, they are listening, because I remember this is right, this is wrong. And I remember wanting to commit suicide. I remember, like, my parents wanting to get a divorce. And one time I was driving. We lived all the way in the Everglades here in Miami. Like, that's deep in, like 20 minutes from a Publix at the time. And my dad was halfway coming back, and my mom was like, oh, you got to turn around and go back and get more milk or something like that. And my dad got upset. He was like, oh, I just want to divorce your mom. And I was a kid still, but that hit me in my heart. And I was like, man, I want to give up. I'm already depressed. I'm already going through this addiction now that I can't seem to get off my chest. Like, I just want to give up on things, on life. And I was going to jump out of my car in front of a semi-truck, but I was afraid of going to hell. I was like, if it's real, I'm not going to hell. And so, yeah, time went on. I was battling with this depression, anxiety. I would go to sleep at night, wake up in like sweat, wake up in tears. I would have like dreams of like never getting out of this, tormenting myself. Like, you're going to be stuck forever. I wanted to open up to my siblings, but they looked up to me in a way. So I was like, I don't want to open up to them. They're too They're too young. I don't want to open up to my parents because I felt like I couldn't. We didn't go to a church either at the time. We were homeschooled, so it's not like I had these friends in my life or mentors. I had no mentors, so I was like, I'm by myself. And that's why community is key. Like, you need community. You need to get plugged in church. But yeah, I fell into addiction, and I was going to commit suicide. And I remember where I committed the sin over and over again the same night, and I didn't know how to pray. But I said, God, if you're, like, give me your eyes to see, give me your ears to hear when I wake up in the morning. And our parents, we used to go to a Nickelodeon show, and Sabe de Gante, Telemundo. We used to film with our animals there. Nice. So I grew up, like, in that environment, like backstages, stuff like that. And I remember we were taking a skunk to go to Nickelodeon, out of all things, and it was just the usual. They would go drop me off, and I would stay there with the animal, and then they would pick me up. And as my mom was driving me there to the job, I remember looking out the window and seeing these people like I'd never seen people before. Like, I remember seeing what they were going through. Like, I believe God, like, opened my eyes to show me, like, that person's going through depression, that person's going through anxiety. And I felt like, wow, I'm not alone. I gained God's heart for people. And I remember, like, got so overwhelmed that I got a migraine from dealing with it. And then she dropped me off. I had a headache. I remember putting the skunk to the side, and I remember just doing the normal, getting breakfast before we start the show. And I remember seeing these two people that I grew up with. I know he's married. I remember him flirting with this girl, like cheating on each other, and I just got so overwhelmed. I was like, man, this is crazy. And then I just went upstairs to the bathroom that nobody goes to, and I was really going to, like, end my life, but I was really just at my lowest moment in my life. And I went to my knees and I started crying out for their sins. And then I started crying out for my own sins. And I was like, Father, forgive them, Father, forgive them. And then I started crying out for my own sins. And I said, Jesus, forgive me of my own sins. And right there on my knees, when I was going to give up on everything, I heard God's voice say, I love you, my son. And that was the first time I had an encounter with Jesus. That's the first time I felt the Holy Spirit come on me. Mm-hmm. And that changed my life forever. I didn't realize that it's going to take time and process to get over my addiction and stuff. But that was the first encounter I had with Jesus. And I knew no one could tell me that he's not real. I heard him. And so I went on a hunt, like, who's this Jesus guy? I know that he's real. And so I didn't know how to read at the age of 12. We had homeschooled. We were gun robbed on Christmas, one Christmas day. And I never done my homework. I used to get away cheating with my parents, the principal. My dad was the principal. So, like, it was easy to get around. And I remember I really didn't know how to read at the age of 12, 13. I remember I just knew how to read the words cat, dog, mom, dad. And I remember since we got robbed, we moved. And when we moved, I opened the drawer and I found the Bible, and it was New International Version, easy to read, just the New Testament. And I remember picking it up. I'm like, I heard God's voice, so I need to see if this is him. And and then I remember reading, and I remember, like, trying to read it and learning, and then I learned how to read through the Bible, and I remember seeing Jesus, the same eyes that I saw in those guys. I remember feeling that feeling again, and I remember, like, wow, this is love. This is the compassion that I saw in those guys' eyes, and I was like, Jesus is real. I believe, like, I thought that I was the only one that found Jesus. I thought I was the only one that had the cure to cancer. I was like, man, this is going to be mind-blowing when people know this. So I, just like you were telling me earlier, like, you had to share it, open a book club. I was like, I have to share this with somebody. But I was like, I'm homeschooled. I don't have any friends. Like, what am I going to do? So I put up a tent outside, and I was like, I told my siblings we're going to have church. So I put up a white tent or whatever tent, and put some white chairs there. And I was like, I'm going to preach Jesus tomorrow. Come. And they came, some of my siblings. And I remember just giving them Jesus that I knew of. Probably wasn't full gospel, but
bro,
something.
Dude, I had to keep my composure, bro. Your story is amazing, dog. Shoot.
And thank you.
Man, first of all, number 10, bro. That means that you're all in, man. That's
All in.
amazing. I love that. I love when people tell me that in a specific, they don't even think about it. Hey, in that pillar, I'm a 10. I love that. Bro, amazing story.
Thank you.
Hey, Mark. What a testimony. Bro, that's mind-blowing. And that changes people, man.
Yeah.
Testimony, definitely. Do you tell your testimony a lot? I mean, do you?
Yeah, I do. I like to practice it in 5 minutes.
Okay.
So when we go street evangelizing a lot. So, and even at my church, it's called 3P. We go preach, pray, prophesy, where it's just share my testimony in 5 minutes. So it's not the full story, but it's short version where I can stop somebody in Miami, the busy streets, and be like, hey, I need to share this with you real quick, and then give my story.
Wow. Mark, so I have my faith pillar, and I have to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm like a 7.
Okay.
But hearing you, I think that just came down to like a 4.
No.
No, because your standard is so high, bro. And that happens, but I'm okay with that. Thank you, because the ProActivator is about,
growing. Yeah.
growing and having higher standards. So your standards are high, and I love that, Mark, what are the things that make you a 10? Walk me through, what are some of the habits that you have implemented in your life that make you say without a doubt that you're a 10?
Yeah, I would definitely say secret place with God. So I have like my non-negotiables, like so I watched a lot of Dan Martell.
Okay.
So he told me like you need these non-negotiables. And I remember I was like, okay, I'm going to have Dan Martell's non-negotiables, but I need to add my faith-based and change it up to who I am. So I was like, reading the Bible is non-negotiable for me. Praying is non-negotiable for me. It doesn't matter if it's 5-10 minutes, but like you taking that time and praying, you taking that time and reading the Bible. It's better, like if you're hungry, it's better not just to eat 1 hour. You eat 1 hour one day of the week, and then you starve the rest of the week. So it's better that you eat small meals, portions at least throughout the week, more consistency. And so I would say consistency in the Word, consistency in the Bible, and prayer, and then community. Community is a big part of it. I was one of those guys that were like, oh, I'm the temple. I can go and preach the gospel, but I don't need to be plugged in. But the Bible says iron sharpens iron. And so we need each other to correct each other, to be like, no, look, you can grow in this area. Like, no, you can improve in this. No, I need to rebuke you and get right. Like correcting and improving and encouraging, building up, and somebody that can speak into your life on that.
Now, so community. So that means
Community,
do you go to a Bible study group?
Yeah.
So besides, I mean, I'm sure you attend church.
Yeah.
And how many times you go to church a week?
So I'm pretty like active in church.
Okay.
So I go to V1 church.
Okay.
So it's a it has a lot of locations, but I'm here in the Miami campus, and I go Sundays, and then we have 2 services on Sunday. I get there early, like 6-7 in the morning. Okay. We started in a home, then we moved to a theater where we used to get there like at 5 in the morning, set up, and then we just now, a year now actually in February, we just moved into our new building, and so we get there at 7, still get set up. I do like the sound and stuff, because I'm like, okay, always humble yourself. That's another thing that is like keeps me in check, because you could always think, oh, I preach around the world, let me just get on stage. No, I humble myself. I'm like, okay, let me do the soundboard, clean the bathrooms, whatever you have to do. So Sundays I say, and then we don't have any other services, but there's what we call flight crews, which is like little connect groups. So I would say like twice a week, and then Wednesdays I go to rehearsal. So
nice.
So 2-3 times.
So you serve, and then what about your groups? When do you meet on your small? You said a small group?
Yeah, small groups. So we met yesterday. So we have what we call like a man of valor, where a bunch of men get together, and so I meet there. And yesterday we met.
Nice, man. Nice. Okay. Very good. You have a lot of so a lot of weekly non-negotiables that keep you close with you keep that connection
Yeah.
with the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
and it's bulletproof.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
bulletproof.
bulletproof,
Keep
yeah.
growing too.
Yeah. All right. Awesome, brother. Let's jump into the family pillar.
Mm-hmm.
The family pillar is how close you are with your family, how active you are, how present you are with your family. From a scale to 1 to 10, 1, which they don't know you, they don't see you ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, where's Martin? Mark. And then to 10, it's like you are there, you're present, you cater to your family and you serve them. So what do you think you fall in that category?
Yeah, I would say it's different probably with each sibling. I have
Mhm.
9 siblings.
Okay.
But in general, I would say like an 8.5.
That's pretty good. That's
Mhm.
pretty good. What makes you an 8.5?
An 8.5 is
What do you do?
Yeah, so I see them almost every day. Not all of them, because I know some of my siblings live out of the state and stuff.
Okay.
So I see them every day, stay in contact with them, reach out to them, see what they need. I try my best, like just to call them when I have time, be like, hey, what's up? What's going on this week? What are you doing? Yeah, that's what I would say.
So it's a constant communication.
Constant communication,
Constant.
yeah.
Like you don't go along.
Like I don't go a week without seeing them, for
That's
sure.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So I see my family most of them almost every day, and then some of them I see them Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about your relationship with your parents?
Yeah, I would say it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of hard right now, like I was saying earlier before we were talking before the podcast. Like my dad, he's a truck driver now because the business was slow, so now he's back, he's on the road, so he's out for like 10 days and then he comes back. So that's like the hard part.
Okay.
But yeah, it's good. Like I love
Nice.
my parents. Yeah.
Nice. Let me ask you something. Let's go ahead and pivot to finances,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because we can go either one, finances or fitness, but let's go with finances. So finances, the pillar of finances is, it's not like most people think, oh, okay, are you doing good financially? But the pillar of finances is how good of a steward are you
Mm-hmm.
with what God has entrusted you with.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you make $20,000 a year or $3 million a year. How good of a steward are you with what God has entrusted you? So from a scale to 1 to 10, Mark, where do you think you fall on if God were to evaluate you now and you say, how you think God will evaluate you right now on how you manage his income, the income that you have?
Yeah,
right
I would say definitely now. I would say like 8.
Okay.
Yeah, an 8 now.
Good.
But if you had caught me like a couple months ago, and I was probably like a 2.
A 2, okay. Now tell me, what was the shift? What did you start doing
Yeah.
enable for you to start? Like, what happened 2 months ago? What are the actions that you started taking to be a better steward?
Yeah, so I would say definitely learning. Always growing, learning, watching YouTube videos like on how you could be a better steward. But for me, the shift that happened was I was not like, I had a business, right? Helping people, coaching people on how to grow on social media and everything. And I was making, like, for me, it was like great because I was making like 10K per month. I hit 10K. That was the goal.
Nice.
I hit it. And then I was like, everything started to fall off now because I had the money. So I was like, okay, I was starting to lose my focus. We were talking about ProActivator, like they keep their focus. And the Bible even says that, like, don't look to the left, to the right. And I started losing my focus. So I wasn't really doing anything crazy with my money, but I was just going here with my family, going here with my girlfriend, and we were doing all these things. But it was not a good steward. So I was like, okay. And then I was saving my money too. And then I had a client that dropped pretty much. And then that's when I realized, like, oh, wow, I wasn't being a good steward. And then that's when it hit me, like, all right, I need to lock in with God and keep him first above everything. And then, like, that's when
So,
be more successful.
so are you doing a budget now? Are you keeping track? Like, how are you getting better in that area of your life as far as being a good steward? What does it mean for you to be a good steward?
Yeah, so for me, I would say obviously budget for the month, what's coming in, what's coming out, what goes to the business, what doesn't. And then accountability as well. I have accountability that watches it as well.
Okay.
Those two things have really helped.
So accountability. Now, I used to do a Dave Ramsey.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have budget meetings now? Is that something like are you purposely taking time out of the month or the week to look at where your income, your expenses are going, or is that something that is still not in place? Or like how do you like, is that something that is a pattern now, or it's just something that you're starting to implement but it's not really solid?
Yeah, I would say it's not really solid.
Okay.
But it is something that we do, and we meet per month, and then we just go over like, okay, is this good? Is this bad? We spent more on this. This needs to stop. Like seeing the habits, I guess.
Yeah. Here's the thing that it seems like you're really good with the first two habits that you have.
Mm-hmm.
You have direct non-negotiables.
Yeah.
With your family, with the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's set in stone. Nobody's gonna touch it. Nobody's gonna. When we move to finances, it seems like you didn't have any non-negotiables.
Yeah.
But you have the habits, you can do it because you've already implemented it in other areas of your life.
Yeah.
So it's not like you don't know the how to, it's just the awareness of, oh snap, I have to learn how to have a relationship
Mm-hmm.
with what God has entrusted me with.
Yeah.
How do you have a relationship? You spend time with it.
Mm-hmm.
How do you have a relationship with the Lord? You spend a lot of time with Him. How do you have a relationship with your siblings? You talk to them, you see them, and you make it a point to make sure that you're present.
Yeah.
With your finances, you have to make it a point to be present, to have that relationship. Once you do that, you're going to thrive in that area as well.
Yeah.
It's all about your time management.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the ProActivator is all about, bro.
I love it.
Time management. So let me ask you something. Let's move on to fitness.
Mm-hmm.
God calls us, we are the temple.
Yeah.
And He lives in us. So anything that goes through our eyes, our thoughts, and the way that we keep the temple where He abides. How do you see yourself from a scale to 1 to 10 in how you manage the body that God has given you?
Mm-hmm. So I would say probably a 6.
Okay. What makes you a 6?
So I would
what
say
do you do?
A 6 right now. Consistency with non-negotiable is just sweat 45 minutes per day. Usually now I've been just doing walks or runs in the morning, or pull-ups or something like that. But there's definitely room for growth in that, because I know there's room for growth because I was consistent for a long time, and then I stopped in. When did I stop? I stopped in November. Because I went on a trip, and then these people I was with, they were like, "Oh, you're gonna go to the gym now?" I was going like 7 days per week, every day, going to the gym, run, and then go to the gym. And then I see you have like your eggs there, boiled egg.
Oh yeah.
So I had my meals and everything, but then I traveled, and I was like, okay, they don't want me to, church event. So I was like, okay, whatever. I settled for what other people would do, and so that's where I fell off, because then going back into it was the hardest thing. And so I would say just recently now is where I'm like, okay, I'm going to be consistent now this new year, and I'm going to hit the gym every day, 45 minutes per day, and stay consistent.
You made that sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, meal prepping and stuff like that.
Nice. So you made that
It's
a non-negotiable. Awesome,
yes.
bro. I love that.
AI has helped me.
There you go. Now, so, but you say you're a 6 now, but you already implemented this stuff. So what's gonna make you a 9 or a 10?
I would probably consistency, because it's only been a month, so it's
in
easy.
a month.
It's the beginning of the year, so I would like to see
Okay. You want to see more
time,
evidence.
more evidence, more time. Not really results. Like, yeah, that's amazing. That's going to come with it. But I want to see like the results of consistency of going again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. That's good. Let's move on to one of my favorite pillars. All of them are my first, but
Yeah.
the ProActivator is based on this main pillar, which is focus. Focus is how we manage our time. How intentional are you on managing your time, on eradicating distractions that rob you of time? Because time is precious.
Yeah.
You know, and you can make money, but you can never make time back. So tell me, from a scale to 1 to 10, how focused is Mark?
I would say probably a 5.
5. Okay.
Yeah.
Why are you a 5?
A 5 because I like with the things that I know I'm gonna do, I'm pretty focused and consistent with.
Okay.
But there's things that I know I need to start doing, and I'm like, okay, I lose my focus maybe because of my family instead of saying no to them, or I'm like, oh, this church thing is going on, and I'm like, okay, so I lose my focus in that, I guess. Okay. Like, because there's many different things that are around you that are good to do, but sometimes you just need to say no to them. And so I'm like, okay, that's where I lose my focus a little bit, or not being clear, like just trusting God, like on what's the next step. So I guess I would procrastinate in that. Like, okay, God, I'll wait on you, but really we just need to take action because God doesn't move a parked car.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any areas in your life that you feel like they're robbing your time as far as distractions and things like that?
Yeah. So I would say probably sleep schedule.
You sleep a lot?
No.
Or you sleep too little?
Well, yeah, I would say I don't go to sleep on time.
Okay.
Because I don't know, lately it's been hard to go to sleep. So I'm like, okay, like I had a schedule where I used to go to sleep by 10, wake up early. But now since I'm sleeping later, like late at night, that's been robbing my time now.
So but what? You're watching Netflix?
No.
What are you doing? You're just working?
Like, it depends. Like, I'll be working. I'll be watching a podcast. I'll be watching. Okay. My favorite is like Miles Monroe. I love Miles Monroe. Okay. So I'll be watching that. Yeah. So I don't know.
Okay.
So I need to get the sleep schedule down. That's taking my time, because if I get that, then everything else could fall into place.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I personally had to eradicate some podcasts from my life, not because they were bad.
Yeah.
But they were,
taking your time.
They're taking my time.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to give up the good for the best. And you know what that is.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of making that decision. Because once you make that decision, then there's no more negotiation. You already made the decision. You've done that a lot in your life. So you know that when you decide that this is going to be a non-negotiable. So that's how you start focusing more and eradicating distractions from you. When I started eradicating distractions from my life, and being surgical about how I spend every minute of my time. So I have my daily routine,
your schedule,
my schedule, and everything that is there gets done. There's no room for any podcast, for any type of distractions, just because I'm locked in.
You have a set.
When you work under that framework, you become unstoppable. Because now you're moving forward, and you feel like you know that you're moving forward.
Yeah.
You know how it feels like, and I always tell this. You ever seen those movies where Flash is moving so fast that people are moving super slow? That's how you start feeling, bro. That's how you will start feeling, because you start seeing how everybody else is so distracted. It's how everybody's lives. But once you start functioning on this level of focus, you see it so clearly, and it's a different monster, bro. It's a different mindset, and But you're there, man. You're there. It's just a matter of making that
Switch.
connection,
Yeah.
make the switch, and then make it a non-negotiable. You already know how to make non-negotiables. You've done it in your life. You just gotta apply it in other areas
Mm-hmm.
and bring that focus to a 10. I can tell you, my focus, I mean, I would say it's a 9.5 because it's not perfect. I mean, sometimes I take a mental break.
Yeah.
Which I already, as a matter of fact, I have mental breaks during my day. I take walks.
Yeah.
So in my regular Saturday working days, I work from 8 to 6. And every 2 hours at 10, 12, 2, and 4, I go for a 20-minute walk.
Mm.
That's my mental break. And I'm listening to my podcast, and I'm listening to whatever I'm listening, you know. I don't listen to music too much because I only listen things that are going to edify me. So I like to listen to things that are helping me.
Yeah.
So music is good, you know, but it's not the
Yeah.
best, you know. It's not. So that's how I also have mental breaks. But having a schedule, it's something that can help you a lot. Now, let's move on to, well, first of all, what do you think about that thought?
Yeah, I love it because now you're speaking on it, and I'm like, man, this is an area that I need to grow. I would even rate myself even lower now with hearing you talk. I'm like, okay, I'm definitely like a 3 or a 4. I need a set schedule. I'm like, okay, if I have these set things, then there's no space, there's no room, and I know this, but I just haven't done it. So like just hearing this now, I'm like, okay, I need to have this set schedule. That these are the non-negotiables for the day. This is what's happening the week. This is what's happening the month, and like follow through. And basically, like you said earlier, it's not a feeling. So if you wake up and you're like, I need to get this done, then you're gonna do it. It's discipline.
Yeah, and you have the discipline already.
Thank
It's
you.
just a matter of implementing it in other areas. Now, I also want to tell you, when I have this schedule, what happens is that you treat it like a budget, because it is. And just like you have to give a job for every dollar that God entrusts you with, the same way you have to give a job for every minute that God has given you.
Wow.
Have to give it a job,
Wow.
and then follow, execute it. And everything, you put everything. You're already doing it. You already have things that you give. You have your time with the Lord. That's already, those minutes already have a name. You have time with your family. Those minutes already have a name. That there's other areas that if you start giving it a name, they're not going to be scattered. Because in some areas of your life, you seem like you're scattered because they don't have a name yet.
Mm-hmm.
But in the areas that are not scattered, you're strong at. Your faith, your family, strong. Because they have, that time has a name.
Mm-hmm.
And you follow through. Every time that time comes, you execute.
Mm-hmm.
So that's amazing, brother.
Wow.
You're there. You're there. Now, let's talk about fulfillment.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is going to be a strong one for you.
Yeah.
Fulfillment, brother. How do you feel in a scale from 1 to 10 on how fulfilled are you with your life, with the life that God has given you, with everything that you do? How much? Because how I can tell that somebody has high fulfillment is because they give a lot of themselves. And it seems like by hearing you, you give a lot of yourself, and you love people, you love the Lord. And so tell me, how will you rate yourself in a scale from 1 to 10 on fulfillment?
Yeah, I would say probably a 9.
9.
A 9.
Very good.
Yeah.
Walk me through. Tell me how that works in your life. Like, tell me the reasons why. I already kind of mentioned a few things, but in your own words.
Yeah, I mean, fulfillment is obviously Jesus fulfilled, like, of what he'd done on the cross, and like in my life, saving me. Fulfilled in the church that I have a part of, my family, fulfilled with that. But there's still things that I want to accomplish. That's why I would say I need to. I'm not done yet on this earth. And so there's things I need to get to work on, and I need to focus. Like, I would love to retire my dad, for example, who's a truck driver. Like, that would be 10. Like, we get to retire him, and then we get to spend more time at home. Or, I have a vision that I want to do, like, a crusade here in Miami. A crusade is, like, where you get a land and you preach to thousands of people. We do it across the seas in Africa and Ecuador and all these things where people gather. But here in America, it's, like, hard to get people to come to church, right? So I'm like, how can we do that here in Miami? How can, like, there's things I want to do, these visions, these huge visions. And so I'm not satisfied yet in that, but I'm fulfilled, like, in Jesus.
Okay. I think fulfillment, do you feel, I mean, when you serve Christ, that right there, and when you serve people, that brings fulfillment.
Yeah.
And I think you're doing that already. So that's why you're a 9, because that just brings so much joy in your life.
Yeah. Like, I always tell people, because I had a coaching program on depression and anxiety, like, if you don't know where to start, first start on yourself and start with you and God. And after that, like, just give. Like, if you're going to give to somebody, even if it's an encouraging word or whatever it is, like, just give to people, and you're going to get a lot happier.
Yeah. Well, the Bible says it. It's better to give than to receive.
Yeah.
And that's a principle that is true. And we experience it every time that we do that. And imagine if we make it a habit or a part of our lives, so you live a fulfilled life all the time. But yeah, Mark, tell me, what are your plans for the future? What do you have coming up?
Yeah, so this month alone is a huge month, February 2026. Because I'm dropping actually my first book.
Wow.
So
what's the title?
Can't say it yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so it's basically I started writing it actually 4 years ago when I was doing when I was doing the coaching on depression and anxiety. So when I was in depression and anxiety, I would call all these churches. I didn't believe in denomination. I didn't know any about denomination, so I would call it Catholic churches, Methodist, Christian, Pentecostal, anything. And I was just calling them, hey, can you help me with depression and anxiety? And they would be like, no, you got to buy this book, or no, you got to do this, no, you got to do that. So you got to come to the church instead of just praying for me or giving me advice. So I actually hated God because of the people. So I was like, I'm going to write a book one day and give it away. So now I'm getting to see that vision come to pass. Like, this month, I'm dropping it on February 14th.
Wow.
And so it's the Break Free Method, where it's 6 pillars, where we walk them through how to overcome depression and anxiety. And the goal is to eventually just give it out to every event I go to and get them free. And then also this month, we're doing an event, a church event, where it's like car meetups, and then they preach the gospel. So I'm going to be a part of that as well.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
In Miami?
Yeah, here in Miami.
Okay. Different car meetups, or? There's
different ones. I'm not too much in the detail yet. He's going to get back with me, but I'm excited about that. Excited, yeah.
Nice. So let me ask you something, Mark. Where can people find you?
Yeah, they could find me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok.
What's your handle?
So it's Mark Spread the Gospel, and then on YouTube, just Mark Martin.
Mark Martin. So at Mark Spread the Gospel.
Yeah.
And on YouTube, Mark Martin.
Yeah.
Nice, brother. Okay. And how's your YouTube channel going?
It's going good. So it's pretty easy to blow up on on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, so
you gotta teach me.
With the short form content, it's easy.
Right. Okay.
But then the ones that you attract are the ones that are quick. Like, you're swiping through, they follow you, they're going through the shorts.
Yeah.
But the long form, to get them to watch the long form, that's like the harder part. So right now I'm at, I think, 20,000 followers.
Wow.
But I would rather, like, the following is, it's nice, right? It's like on Instagram, I hit 50K.
Oh, wow.
But it really doesn't matter to me anymore at this point. Like, before I was like, once I hit 10K followers, then I made it. But you're always going to want more. And then to me, it matters more if they're engaging. It matters more if you're building a community. instead of just growing.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. All right, Mark, are there any other remarks, any special remarks that you want to tell the audience? Any message that you have? What's your message, brother?
Yes, I would say if anyone's watching right now, and you might be going through something in your life where it's depression, anxiety, or those thoughts that I was going through, you know right now that Jesus has a plan for your life. He died on the cross, but 3 days later, the ground shook,
Amen.
and he came back to life. He's alive. We don't serve a dead God. Muhammad stayed in the grave. Buddha stayed in the grave. But Jesus, he came back to life, and he's knocking on the door of your heart, and he wants to have a relationship with you. All you have to say is, Jesus, I come into my life. Say yes to him, and your life will change.
Amen. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining the ProActivators Podcast. This is Mark Martin. And with that said, brother, I'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
a year
for
from now.
A year from now. All right. Thank you so much for joining the podcast. This is Gabriel, the ProActivator. And I'll see you guys next time.